Evening, everyone. It's Thursday evening, 5:50, and this is your Thursday closing comment. Excuse me, a reminder, if you like the work, help support the program and hit that subscribe button. Okay, so the market completely shrugged off yesterday's activities in the Capitol, and it surprises the hell out of me. I guess at this point it probably shouldn't, but it does. And it's just hard to believe. But the Dow was up 211 and change, 0.7%, while the NASDAQ was the big winner today, up 326.69, up over 2.5%. That is a new all-time high, over 13,000. The S&P also made a new high at up 55.66, 1.5%. And number two on the list, which has been number one for a while, the Russell was up another 38.97 or 1.9%. And the transports were in kind of the same place as the Dow, up 105.70, up 83 cents. We had a bunch of news today, bunch of earnings. The first one was Best Buy first thing this morning. They missed both top and bottom line. When I told you in the pre-opening comment, it was trading 18.23. In the real world, it traded down to 17.75, but in fact closed 18.73, so a half a dollar higher than it was trading pre-market, but still down 11%, $2.30. Walgreens yesterday had that deal where they sold a subsidiary to AllianceBernstein for $6.5 billion, and today they reported a beat, both top and bottom lines, and the stock, which was up a little yesterday, closed 45.26. That's up $2.23, or 5.2%. And Quidel, QDEL, also a miss, top and bottom. The stock was up 4%, trading at 212 when the news came out. It immediately turned back down, traded down to 175. So almost $40, and then rallied back to close at 194.95, down $9.12. So it went from up 4% early to down 4.5% at the end of the day. Micron also a beat. It had closed at 79.11, which was up $2, and then it traded, last is 80.36, which is up another $1.25, 4%. And the disaster du jour, SEREPTA, SRP2, a real favorite. They had a lot of good news over the last 2 years on a drug for muscular dystrophy, and the stock was trading at the close 168.90, up $2.50. And when the news came out that they got at best mixed results, the stock turned down hard, trading down to 75.11. The last is 81, which is down 85.45 or 51%. And I know you're probably getting tired of hearing it. I'm getting tired of saying it. Tesla, also recommended again somewhere, doesn't even matter anymore. There's so much momentum in the stock. Right now it's trading at 834, and that is up another 78 or 10.25%, which dethrones Jeff Bezos and puts in Elon Musk at the number one richest man on the planet Earth. We had a little bit of fundamental news today. We had the trade deficit up at 68.1 billion versus an expectation of 67.1. And we had initial claims down 3,000, which is really minimal. You're talking about 787,000 claims, initial claims, which is still an uncomfortably high number. And the continuing claims were down 126,000 to 5,072,000. Now, the chart on the screen is Bitcoin. This is the intraday chart starting last night in the late hours when it was 36 and change. By the open today, it was, let's see, 9:30. It was roughly 38.8. Right here at 12:15, it was 41,000. A half hour later, at 12:45, it was 37,000, and it climbed back up, and the close was about 40,300. As I said, new all-time high, 41,000. But this is the kind of craziness that you're going to see. I mean, basically, we went from 36 to 41, from 41 to 37, and 37 back all the way to close over 40. These are the futures. I'm not talking about the cash market. The way that we actually trade this, just so that you know, it's a little easier, I think, because it's listed. Unfortunately, there are no options in it. But we use the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. And let me just get rid of this intraday chart, go to the weekly, and it trades pretty much the same way as the actual Bitcoin does. When we gapped up here, I said I thought we would have to come back down. And in fact, we went from 30,920. We came back down, closed the gap down at, this is a weekly. Let me go to the daily. It's a little easier to see. Okay. This is where we gapped up. We got up as high as 39,005 and then came all the way back down again. Same situation that we had here when it gapped up and then came back down. This is parabolic. The only way to do anything is to keep your position size realistic for your risk profile, because there is plenty of risk in this one. So the Grayscale traded from 40.81 to 48.41 today, and finished up, looks like $1.04, 44.97. But strange things go on in this market. I've been listening to people talk about it all day, and frankly, when they tell me that this is better than gold, and then they say, well, it's twice as good as gold, so the entire value of the gold market is X, and this should be at least 2X. I don't understand the rationale there. One thing has absolutely no intrinsic value. The other has several thousand years of intrinsic value. And yet they're talking about, well, if it's worth twice as what gold is, it'll be $200,000 per coin. And, it's a momentum trade. It's a good long-term trade. Again, you really need to be honest with yourself about what your risk tolerance is, because this one is going to take all that risk. Okay, rest of the futures, the oil was up again, closed up 20 cents, but it was as high as 51.28. I'm still thinking that 53, 53.05 in that area that I've shown many times before, that will give you a better look. All of this supply between 50 and let's call it 55. but really, you know, closer to here. And of course, we have this 200-day, 200-week moving average coming through at 53.61. It is a little extended, you know, everybody talking about the reopening trade like it's a foregone conclusion, and yet the cases in California, they had their biggest 1 and 2 day death rate the last 2 days. So that's closing down. The UK is closing down. Parts of Germany are closing down. Um, you know, the reopening trade is a hell of a trade. Again, appropriate size of positions, and you can do whatever you want. Okay, the gold was up a little, the silver was up a little, Bitcoin I already told you about. The dollar, on the other hand, was also up a little today. You know, it just keeps probing the bottoms here. It made a slightly higher low today in the neighborhood of 89.32, I believe. Yep, 89.32. This is 89.16, but this is the weekly. Let's go to the daily. So we made a higher low today and finished up on the day. It's done this a couple of times, just gets back to the last resistance, just gets back to the last resistance, just get back to the last resistance. So, you know, maybe we can get up into this 90.5 area, but, you know, I don't see any reason for this. You know, to turn and run up hard with the amount of money that we're going to be printing in the next 6 months or a year or 18 months. I mean, I just don't see it. All right, everyone. I'll be back first thing in the morning. Don't forget to hit subscribe. And if you're interested in trading the futures, whether it's, you know, ETFs or actual commodities, let me know and I will give you the appropriate information. Have a good evening.